Alright guys, working on the Vega. Got some Vega content today. We're going to be working on doing the cooling system. I already have a radiator in here. I don't really much care for it. I don't like where the lower portion of that lower neck is at. That hose is going to be in a bind, and I don't want to have to notch and do all that other crap, right? So I got another radiator. It's already got fans on it. It looks like everything's going to clear, and it's a lot better shape anyways. I've made some Facebook posts as far as what we're doing with the car. I haven't really done a whole lot of wrench time on it quite yet, but stock bottom end 6.0. I didn't check ring gap. It's a used motor. I can't even tell you what kind of rough shape it might have. Might have 100, might have 300,000 miles on it. I don't know. I don't care because we're gonna blow it up anyways. It's got a pretty big cam in it. It'll be NA for a little bit. I'll probably run some nitrous on it. But GPI SS4 non-fly cut version cam, Melling's high pressure oil pump, new lifters, new trays, kind of the whole thing, right? It's gonna have 660 springs on it, hardened push rods, all that crap. The cylinder walls, because it has been sitting without the heads on it for a little bit, they're starting to get some surface corrosion and stuff in there. I'm just sure that you can see that right now. So I am gonna have to lube that up. I'm gonna spin the motor over a little bit, wipe everything down with oil and whatnot, get that out. And then we'll kind of go on to replacing that radiator. And I did mount the trans cooler couple nights ago. I just kind of threw it on there. It's not even really mounted, and I have my AN lines running up to it. I have them routed back. We don't have a transmission in the car. Just kind of getting stuff done while I was bored out here. But yeah, like I said, we'll get some work done on this thing. All right, so I'm just gonna start oiling on these cylinders. You can kind of see that it's got that little bit of surface corrosion there. Just me rubbing it right there, it kind of goes away. So I'm just gonna kind of rub on it with that rag. Yeah, it clears right up. There's no pitting or anything to it. Like I said, it's fucking used high mile motor anyway, so. Shop car is gangster stuff. You see all these fucking cars that people all over the internet, oh, you gotta make 1,000 horsepower, this and that, da 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 da. I think a lot of people just forget that even 500 wheel is pretty rowdy, and then you put it in something that's fucking 2,500 pounds, this thing's gonna fucking fly. There ain't no fucking weight in the car. A lot of people think when you start making all that power too, that you gotta have all this fucking fancy equipment and you gotta do all this crap. Like I said, you can see I didn't even take off the carbon buildup from those pistons. We're gonna put that bitch together and we're gonna run it. And if it blows up, it blows up. If we gap motherfuckers, we gap motherfuckers. Turns over good, all the cylinder walls look good. Let's see. Block's a little dirty, like I said. Still, I got all the carbon buildup on there. Is what it is. Gonna be a gangster little wagon. Right here, bub. So, like I said, you can see on this other radiator here, that lower neck is really close to that frame rail, and I don't want to have to notch that, move all this other crap. So I have this other setup here. It's a lot nicer of a radiator. Already has fans and shit mounted on it. Way nicer of a setup versus this just old beat up piece of crap that came with the car. Hold it. Like I said, so this thing I just kind of have sitting up here. I will pop that off, pull that old radiator out. Hopefully it fits. It's kind of guessed on if this thing even was gonna fit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at the fitment on this. That's crazy. For just a random guess on a random radiator. Nice fitment there. You just seen that other hose was gonna be in a bind. Dude, perfect. Perfect fitment. Look at that. And even whenever we come up here, get a little bit longer of a hose, or maybe even change that filler neck to a different one. That's still the stock style. Way nicer of a setup. Front hose here. Oh, front hose lines up. Dude, this thing is fucking sharp, dude. I like that. I really wonder if I could just adjust some stuff. I may not have much wiggle in there. I might be able to make something work there. I don't know yet. And as far as fathom off of this, I was going to run a brace kind of straight off here, because I really don't want the trans cooler bolted directly to here. They have these basically little ties that you run, right? They're specifically meant to kind of mount trans coolers and fans and whatnot to radiators. I was going to do that, but I mean, it's not going to have a whole lot of mile on it anyways, but I still don't want trans cooler kind of bolted directly up there. I would kind of prefer that space. A lot of times in trucks and other cars and crap, you have the condenser between the radiator and whatnot. There's a big gap, right, from all this heat. That's going to put off a lot of heat. But I do like that it's got these two bolts here, so I might be able to just have some type of bracket and float it here, and then maybe something for stability down there. I think that'll work. And hell, even at that height, our trans lines aren't touching the radiator. On that last one, they were rubbing just a little bit, like it was just a little deeper. But man, that looks sharp. I think we can work with that. So trans cooler is mounted. I do have went ahead and fabbed up those brackets. My buddy stopped by earlier, and I'm too awkward to fucking recording the process while people are in here. But brackets are made. You can see that it does have this longer section there. It kind of looks bad or whatever. I'm going to cut that off. But I mean, the brackets, sweet, simple, you know what I mean? Don't look too shabby. Nice spacing between the radiator and that, kind of keep some heat from it. I do just have the top brackets on there. I haven't done the bottom ones yet. Trans line are, for the most part, going to be routed there. They'll tie up into the motor mount down there. I'm sure you can see it. The head studs did come in. Those came in just a minute ago. And these are not ARP head studs. I'm just checking out these head studs right now. They don't look terrible, honestly. They're not ARP. Like I said, they are just some knockoff, whatever bullshit. I call them Ling Ling. Call them Ling Ling head studs. I got them from Amazon, and sure enough, as you can see, made in China. So we're gonna give them a shot for 56 or 58 bucks, whatever they were. I'm willing to gamble on them, and if they fucking break, they break, and I'll order another set. So, okay, I just kind of want to get a count of everything, make sure all the nuts are there. I want to look at all the threads on them. Make sure all the washers and whatnot. I've been excited about these, man. I always get a kick out of these cheap little parts like that to see if they are worth a fuck. I feel like a lot of these big name company brands and shit, they will do that, man. They'll just have all these China parts that they get wholesale and they just fucking sell them for way too much fucking money. I do have my curiosity about whether or not these are gonna work, because apparently these fucking sorry, I'm gonna edit that part out. I do have my curiosity if this is even gonna work, because they can't even count, because there's supposed to be 4 of these shorter bolts and I have 5. So same thing with these. There was at least 10 of the actual upper, the upper part, the upper bolts. So I do need to go through and get a count, because apparently somebody in Ling Ling, China is too fucking stupid to count 4. I guess I'd rather take 1 extra bolt than 1 less. I'd be one mad motherfucker. All right, so all of the head studs threaded in. They did give me 1 extra of the long bolts and 1 extra of the little short stubby bolts. All the nuts and washers and all the crap are there. I know that I'm supposed to have the head gasket head on before I install the studs, but I did want to verify that that all of the thread pitches and all that crap was correct. But surprisingly enough, they all fit up. So now that I fucking put all the studs in, I get to pull them all back out. I'm gonna re-clean the surface of the block and then kind of prep it for the new head gaskets. And then the head's already clean, ready to go. And then I'll be able to just put them back in whenever the head gaskets come in tomorrow. And I'll put the knock sensors in it. I'll start putting the intake on it and just kind of button up some little stuff. But that's about where we're at for tonight. I do want to thank my fucking sponsors and me, myself, and I, and fucking nobody else's help. But we're out here fucking getting it done.